Okay. How's it going, guys? So, I wanted to do a review on my 2017 Yamaha R3. It's almost at its 1,000 kilometer service, and I thought I'd give you guys my ideas and thoughts on the bike and how it is as a starter bike that I've been riding for just a season. I picked the bike up probably 4 or 5 months ago. Where are you going, buddy? And I love it. I was looking at a couple other bikes when I decided I was going to get my license. The first bike that I thought I was going to get, I was looking at a Honda Grom. And this is before I started doing any research on it and realized that the Grom is a tiny bike that I wanted, I figured keep it tiny and I'll keep myself safe, right? It's right. But the more and more I looked into it and did my research, I thought that would be a bad idea just because... Am I dislocked? Just because... one... Bikes get missed enough in traffic, let alone really, really tiny bikes in traffic. The next thing I looked at, because I like the style of the Grom, I am fogging up. I like the style of the Grom, so the next bike I was looking at was a Honda CB300F, which is their naked bike, basically the frameless version of the CBR 300. I wanted to keep it upright. My riding position, I thought it would be more comfortable than riding a sport bike. But after I did my my permit course, I did that on a let's get out of the way. I did that on a CBR 300, and I liked the riding position. That I tried an upright bike there, and I found that a sport bike, the slightly hunched over riding position, I felt like I had more control over the bike. So that's why I decided to go with the R3. And that's not the only reason I decided to go with the R3. There are a number of other reasons why. But yeah, I like the riding position. It's a super comfortable bike, not nearly as leaned over as as like an R6 or an R1, like a super sport, but leaned over enough that you feel comfortable with it. No crazier than like a normal riding position on like a mountain bike or a road bike. Woo, it's cold today and windy. But yeah, really nice riding position. And actually, I found this bike, the seat's a little lower than the CBR 300 anyways. At that bike I felt a little more leaned over than the Yamaha R3. The seat on the R3 is super low, super comfortable, and I'm a shorter dude and I can flat foot this bike no problem. So aside from riding position, a couple other things I really like about the bike. The dash is, as a beginner rider, super convenient. That it has a nice big tack. It's got a nice big digital speedometer. It's got a fuel gauge. It's got a clock, and it's got a gear indicator, which was a big help when I was starting out, because there are a number of times where you're just focusing, not just riding in a parking lot, but on the street, that you're focusing on traffic and everything else, that I'd accidentally kick it up and think that I was in third, but end up being in fourth or something weird like that. And just a quick glance down, the gear shifter's great because you can tell what you're in right now. Second, third, and a nice big neutral button with that too. Also, what I really dig about this are its foot pegs. That I'm not sure about the Ninja 300, but I know that the Hondas have these ugly and stupid-looking rubber pegs. The R3's got these nice metal ones. And what else was I going to talk about? The pegs are awesome. And just like the look of it, though, too. The bike looks mean from the front. That was another thing. I didn't want to, pick something up and, hate it aesthetically, right? That I was spending a decent amount of money on a bike, and now, granted, I did buy this brand new. I did buy this bike brand new, and it cost a decent amount. That, like, after looking at it, maybe, for the price I bought this bike brand new, I probably could have gotten a decently used R6. But a couple reasons why I didn't do that. One, I don't think I'd be able to afford the insurance on an R6. That this alone is expensive, insurance-wise, when it comes to it. That an R6 just probably would have been ridiculous, even with saving some money. And I also didn't want to have the hassle of a used bike. That I wanted the reliability of a new bike as my first bike, not having the headache or the worry of anything mechanically going wrong with it. And the R3 comes with a 1-year Yamaha factory warranty. If anything goes wrong with the bike, just take it back to your dealership and excuse me. You take it back to your dealership and they will take care of any issues you are having with the bike. A couple things I don't like about this thing. These mirrors are fucking awful. They suck. The only thing that they do is give you a good view of my elbows. I've gotten used to them, though, that I know kind of where to look to see behind me and see the lanes next to me, and kind of like, a quick glance and tucking my elbow in. They do their job. And also, use your head, right? Check your blind spots. Don't just fucking guess. But the mirrors could go out a little bit. They could be better. I've looked at getting the bar end mirrors or the extenders, but they just make the fucking bike look ugly. And it's a nice looking bike. I don't want to fuck it up. Another thing that I'm not a fan of, coming up to a stop sign here, are the brakes on this thing are atrocious. That they're super spongy. They do not brake well. Come on, buddy, cross the street. They're super spongy. That a lot of the time, just engine braking alone will stop my bike down. Will slow my bike down a lot quicker than actually using the brakes on this thing. Depending on what my speed is and if I'm going downhill or not. But yeah, the brakes on this definitely could have been better. That's something I'm thinking of possibly upgrading, or the calipers and cables. But I still don't know if I want to dump that money into the bike yet, or how long I'm going to keep it for. That it's a nice bike, but that being said, after riding for 4 or 5 months, a bigger bike might be fun right now. But yeah. Also, the gas tank. Aesthetically, the thing looks great. I didn't actually know that the R3 has a plastic gas tank until I was going to buy the bike. Function-wise, it works fine. From what I've heard, it could. I haven't disassembled it, but apparently for the amount of room it takes up and the actual size of the tank they give you, they could have definitely put a lot, given you a little bit more room in the tank. That there's a lot of empty space in there. But just from actually touching it, aesthetically, like I said, the bike looks fine. That, like, the gas tank looks mean. Yeah, great. Run your fucking stop. Come on, man. You fucking ran your stop like a dickhead. And now you're turning. Fuck. Idiots driving. What was I talking about? Yeah, gas tank. It's plastic, not a metal gas tank. When you feel it, it feels cheap. It works functionally well. I got the matte black finish, so I'll just scratch the shit out of the tank. Yeah, I've scratched the shit out of the tank already. But like, it just, you know, on a bike, it just feels really, really cheap, the gas tank. But aside from that, I haven't had any complaints. That I do have a bit of trouble with clutch play. That a lot of the times when I have the clutch in, I kick down to first and back up to neutral and don't actually release the clutch. The bike won't drop into first. That I actually have to fully release the clutch, pull it back in, kick the bike down to first, and then the bike will go into gear. That's only like the real major issue I've had with it, which isn't a big thing. That I'm going to have them take a look at the clutch play when I take it in for my my service. And the engine. One of the big reasons I chose this bike over even one of the CBRs or the CBs or the other 300s that are available. It's the biggest bike that it's the biggest engine that you can get in the 300s. I think it's 321. That it's top line 38 or 39 horsepower. And it's a dual cylinder bike, which is different from a lot of the other 300s. That a lot of the 300s are single cylinders. And dual cylinder, I just thought that it would be a smoother ride, which, you know, I honestly probably wouldn't be able to tell between a single cylinder and a dual cylinder. I'd love to hop back on a CBR 300 just to get an idea for the differences now that I've kind of gotten used to this bike. But first thing I noticed when I hopped on it, when I was picking it up from the dealer coming from my my motorcycle course, which I'll talk about in another video, is that this bike in the low end is just a little torqueier than the other 300s. Slightly torqueier. Slightly torqueier in the low end, and the pulls on it, you know, it's not like crazy fast, but it is indeed quick. And sorry, I keep on fogging up, so I keep on cracking my visor. I really hope that's not just destroying the mic. But yeah, I mean, the engine size and kind of all the engine specs were kind of what put this over the other 300s kind of in this bike class. Thank you, officer. I'm gonna crack my visor again. Yeah, yeah, just a great bike all around. I mean, I've really enjoyed the thing. It's served me well. It's gotten me on the road. It's given me confidence on a motorcycle. And for the first 1,000 kilometers, I've had zero issues with it, which, I mean, you shouldn't. If you do, there's something really wrong, or it's a factory issue, but I'm sure Yamaha will take care of that, and I'm not being paid by Yamaha to say any of this shit. I just really liked the bike and really liked riding. Not having that much motorcycle experience, I rode pit bikes growing up, nothing crazy, but this, I think, is a really good first bike. That there's enough power to, you know, get out of the way of any issues, but not enough power to you know, to put myself in a situation that I can't control the bike. I've never had that. And when I started riding, I'm pretty sure that I had a couple close calls just with my throttle control that if I was on a bigger bike, I could have really fucked myself up. Yeah. What else is there to say? I think that's about it. I'm almost at work. Yeah, super awesome bike. I love the thing, and I think as a first beginner bike, this thing's great. That, you know, like I said, you got enough power to get you to where you need to go, and also to get you out of the way if you got to get out of the way of a car. There's enough power. Sometimes you got to plan your lane changes, but aside from that, yeah, enough power to get you where you need to go, get you out of the way. Seating position's comfortable. Like, there's enough torque, enough horsepower. I'm a bigger dude too, that it moves me perfectly fine. Yeah, absolutely love the bike. Definitely, if you're a beginner, I think R3 is an exceptional bike to start on. That you get everything you want in one full package. And I bought this as a commuter, that I use it to go to work and yeah, just kind of cruise around the suburbs. But I mean, I don't really go out for leisurely rides. I use this as like a functional vehicle to get to and from point A to point B, and the bike fulfills that role perfectly fine. Like, I'm not one of those idiots that's going to be going, like, you know, 150 down the highway or like 90 on a side street or some stupid shit like that, like dropping knees. No, I'm just chilling, getting to work, and this thing gets me to where I need to go perfectly fine. I've not had any issues with it, and I absolutely... Why is everybody stopping? Come on. I absolutely love this bike. And actually, right there, what I was saying about the gear indicator, accidentally kicked down first. Quick glance down, looked, kicked back up to second. Yeah, super fucking handy gear selector. And I'm gonna end this vlog, I think, right about now, because I'm almost pulling up to my shop. But if you like this video, comment, leave a like, subscribe. Let me know if you want to see anything else. But yeah, awesome. Thanks.